Black Soprano family, huh? The mob, nigga. We the biggest in this shit. Biggest. Me, Rick, Heen, Camino. We been setting the tone. My nigga Bates. Love Boat. Hartford, Connecticut. Eastside Buffalo in this bitch. You know, all my niggas. Yeah, the Butch, nigga. Ain't nothing I have regular, brick and a half measurer. I turned the hefty garbage bag to a cash register. And with a little luck, I put them digits up grinding. I'm putting pictures up shining, rocking emerald cut diamonds. TD Jakes in the kitchen, GTA when I'm whipping. Crash that, jump in the new one, an easy day for a nigga. Y'all gossip like Ricky Lake, y'all wishing hate on a nigga. Don't fit in lanes with these rappers, I been done sprayed on a nigga. When you get in the streets, don't lay on pillows and speak. Loyalty calls, don't expect it from niggas who cheap. And little do he know I'm a wolf to a little sheep. Heavy bars and got a style so hard that a chisel teeth. We both in love with white girls, how about that? It's ironic. I put him on digi scales, he got a tat on Madonna. No emblems on that big body Benz, knew that I got her. So my old ass next door neighbor think that's a Honda. It's two type of leaders, you could be Bush or Bill, and only see half the picture like Bushwick Bill. I'm Mike Jack, smooth operation, off krills. Now a nigga making that little shit off reels.
Speaking blasphemous, shit spread like a pathogen. The whole time your career.
Woo! Yeah. Man, I don't even hear the claps.
Right, I'm like, where y'all people at?
Oh man, yeah, we having issues with this another app right now, bruh. It's getting real crazy. Yeah, yo, I can hear you clearly. You can hear me clearly?
Yes, sir. We live and direct. Back at it again.
Excuse us for the tough technical difficulties, but yeah. To the right of me, that's my man, one and only Parlay Lord. Fraz Taz in the building.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You're far too kind.
That's right.
Pleasure to see everybody here tonight. And as always, on the other side of me, every time we do this,
that's right,
is the one and only Lord of Mayhem, Marlon Mayhem himself. Clap a round of applause.
Appreciate it. One thing is crazy, you can hear the claps when you're on the other end of the Facebook Live. So people can hear it, you know. So I just can't hear it. You can't hear it for some strange reason. But yeah. So let's get right into it. You know, the Knicks had an interesting game against Miami and Orlando. You know,
You mean the Nets?
The Nets, the Nets too. Yeah, the Nets too. But well, actually, the Nets. Let's talk about the Nets first. Speaking of Fraz, yeah.
I know who that is already. That's either one or two people. And I have a feeling I know who it is already.
Let's see who it is.
Because
that's Kev. That's Kev.
I was about to say, shout out my guy Kevin in the building.
Shout out to Kev, bro.
Yeah, let's talk about those Brooklyn Nets right here. Let me kick it off this week, right? I got you.
Right,
so, as we are all aware now, the once mighty Brooklyn Nets have now fallen out of a playoff spot and fallen into the play-in by way of the last 5 consecutive losses that they have suffered. And don't get me wrong, they've competed. I will say that this team does come out and this team does compete. You know, but these are tough losses moving forward because especially going from playoff to play in position, and now it's okay. You wanna continue to play well, try to win games to avoid falling out altogether now.
Right.
So um, it's going to be interesting to see how the last 9 games play out for them
Yeah.
because honestly, they're going to need to win like 5 or 6 to stay in position to continue on in the postseason.
Right.
So, if I'm a Nets fan right now, I'm a little bit worried even more because you went from having KD and Kyrie being perennial playoff attenders, meaning y'all went to the playoffs a couple years, and now it's just a fight to stay in position to have a chance to continue in the playoffs. So the fall off is dramatic, and at the same time, I see a lot of Nets fans going through it right now. What's your take on
Yeah.
things,
Yeah.
Marlon?
You got some that's setting up therapy sessions. They need to see therapists. You know, yeah, it's a given. When you lose 2 superstars the way they did, you're gonna have this happen. You got a team that's trying to gel right now, young team, and it's gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time in the off season for these guys to gel. They're not gonna be able to pull this off. This. The team is incomplete still. You're missing a floor general. You're missing a big man. I know they have this guy Moses Brown.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing much is going on with him because from what I've heard, there's some people that know him know people that know him personally, and his game is not that great.
Mm.
So yeah, a lot of people didn't know that, but drop the bombshell right there, But yeah, he's it's an incomplete team, and they're not going to be ready to take on these top teams. It's just not happening. So they have to look forward. Unfortunately, Net fans have to look forward to the off season, because there's a lot of retooling that needs to be taking place with this team. Now, I'm hearing a lot of people slandering Cam Johnson, DFS.
No, Spencer Dinwiddie. A lot of even Net fans are very critical of Spencer Dinwiddie's recent play lately. And I kind of don't blame them.
I don't blame them, except the last play. The last play, I have to put that on Clax. Clax should have been, he should have eyed that pass, right? Because if he grabbed that pass, he would have had a clear path to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
So that in that particular moment, I have to blame Clax. Clax should have known better. He should have had his eyes open for that pass, and he just didn't. And that's what happened because Dinwiddie set it up perfect for him, bro. It can't get more perfect than that. So that's where they felt short. Clax's inability to grab that ball and take it to the rack. As intended for Dinwiddie, that's what he intended for Clax to do, and it just didn't happen. So yeah. So if you're giving Dinwiddie slack for that, I mean, nah, you gotta, nah. Yeah, that's all Clax right there, bro. That's all Clax. So I mean, it's a work in progress for this team. It's gonna take some time. There's gonna be a lot of sad days, a lot of days where they're just not gonna be it because there's a lot of problems that they have to address. you know, and one of the main problems is Ben Simmons. Got to get this guy off the roster. Got to find some way to get this man off the roster because he's just taking up space. Now that there's something going on with his back, there's a back impingement or whatever the case, however you say it. Yeah. So you're not going to see Ben for the rest of the season, and possibly never after the season. It's done. It's all said and done. So, yeah, I mean, the Nets have a lot of work to do. Now I'm hearing that people want Dame to come. That's not happening. Let's clear that up. Dame is not coming to the Nets. It's not happening.
Did he just sign an extension?
I don't know. I'm hearing all kinds of stories. I'm hearing that he's kind of disgruntled in Portland. He doesn't want to go through another rebuild, whatever the case may be. But there's a lot of rumors circulating around Dame and the Nets, and it's not happening. And even if he was going to be available, if it's true that he's going to be available and he's going to request a trade or something of that nature, he's not coming to the Nets. It's just crazy. It's crazy to think that, because one of the reasons why is the Nets have to clean up their image, because they look that the Bruce Brown giveaways and the Blake Griffin giveaway
and the free bag giveaways.
Yeah,
including the recent 10-day contract to Nerlens Noel.
Yeah, with them slamming the Nets organization for not keeping them in the loop, communication failures. That's not a good look, for the organization, especially now with the stars, with the drama that's been unfolding with them. That's just not it's not the ideal situation for a superstar to go to if they're planning to leave their team. So yeah, I wouldn't count on Dame at all to come. So that's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. It's just not. So yeah, the Nets at this point just need Nets fans just need to
y'all need this game coming up tomorrow against Miami.
Yeah.
If Nets fans, if y'all don't win this game, then you really need to start singing Kumbaya by the campfire. Because I'm going to say it right now, and I'm not even going to be funny. That game tomorrow holds significance, because that's the tiebreaker you going to need to stay in the playoff spot. If you do not beat Miami, y'all might as well say y'all won't even make a playoff spot. The best you could finish is playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be tough,
because if I'm a Nets fan, let's look at it. We don't have a tiebreaker against Miami if we lose that game. We don't have the tiebreaker against the Knicks. So where are you gonna be able to jump in the standings to get into a playoff spot, even with the 2 games in hand?
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to win, and Miami wants it bad. They want it bad, and they're gonna play hard. Like I said, one thing I do respect about the Nets game, the Nets team, like you say, Fraz, is they have a lot of fight. The Nets have a lot of fight in them, bro. It's just
they definitely do.
It's just that when it comes to closing out, they just don't have it. They don't have that closer.
I seen a lot of Nets fans posting yesterday about we need a closer. We need a closer. Seen a lot of that going around, not just Facebook, but Twitter as well. I seen that going around Twitter. We need a closer.
Well, actually, it's not the fact that they need a closer, because Dinwiddie closed out a lot of games for the Nets, bro. So, but it's just things just don't work in their favor. Whether it's you're shooting too many threes and you're missing, a lot of times where they're down a lot of points and they're struggling to get back, and they actually get to the point where it's a 5-point deficit. So, but it's just taking so much out of them, they can't close it out. They just can't, because they're wasting too much energy trying to come back. They're fighting to come back into these games, and they just fall short. That's the problem with a lot of games. If you watch with the Nets, like, so things just don't work out. When it comes to closing, finishing these games out strong. But maybe they'll finish strong out this season. That's we have to see. But I don't really see them progressing past Miami. Like, it's gonna be that's gonna be tough. Especially in a team that's just not. They don't have everything. They don't have things firing in all cylinders, bro. Bridges. Sometimes they have good games. Shout out to Barry. Barry Garrick's in the house. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, like Bridges was making bad shots, pretty poor shots. And that's you got to expect that from Bridges. Not every game he's going to be scoring, dropping 40 points, score 30 points on heads, bro. Like, he's going to have those nights, and unfortunately, it's not going to get any easier for Bridges and Cam Johnson and the rest of the team as they try to gel as much as they can to pull out these wins. And it's just, the best thing to do is just try to finish out this season the best they can and look for the off-season changes, because there's going to be some off-season changes. That's
definitely.
And that's all I have to say for the Nets. Now on to the Knicks.
And the push for the playoffs is what we're talking about tonight.
Word.
Now, as far as my Knicks go, let's put it like this way. We've taken a couple of tough losses recently. We lost both games at a back-to-back with Miami and Orlando. I will say this: the Orlando game was to me very sloppy. The horrendous 3-point shooting was a problem for them. Right. They still kind of, some of these games, because they're tired, from the game before, because of how Tommy T, they have their workload and stuff. So the second game, I already kind of figured it was going to be a little. You know what I mean? They did show signs of coming back and fighting, but it was just too much for them, and they were just too tired. I think there needs to be a stamina coach involved somewhere to help them be able to play games longer. Because the way Tommy T plays his rotations, based on his certain number of minutes, you got to be careful playing players like that, because you could overrun them some games. See how everybody came out flat on the second half of the back-to-back? Flat. Everybody came out flat. Like,
it was gas.
Straight gas. You remember we were talking about in the chat watching the game. I was saying that. I said straight gas. They were gas. They were definitely out of it. You could see how they was playing on the court. They were straight gas. Like, so they needed that 3 days of rest. But I will say this though, it's not all bad Knicks fans, because keep it a buck right now. We gonna make the playoffs this year in the playoff seed, like I said from the beginning. Of course, one and only Kev in the building. Shout out my guy. I know that's you, Kev. Yeah, shout you out, bro. All day, every day. That's Knicks and Ish family right there. Conglomerate family right there.
You already know.
But let me get back to the Knicks. I want to stray off topic. We are gonna finish over 500 this year, Knicks fans. This is the first time since the playoff run 2 years ago that we finished in over 500 because we already amassed 42 wins this year, and 41 is half of 82 last time I checked correctly in math. So by virtue of that alone, we're going to finish over 500 for this season, which is a remarkable turnaround for us for what we've been dealing with for the past, almost 3 decades. Knicks fans, real Knicks fans like me, who've been around here for 30 years, around with the Knicks. It's a wonderful thing to see we addressed the more critical need this year in the off season, and it's showing the reason why we should have did it the same exact way if we had the chance to do it again. Because Jalen Brunson has taken us where we need to be, but I still think that there's a couple of pieces missing to put it over the top. You see this, and yes, we're gonna address this.
I had to laugh at that. I mean,
I am mad at you. No problem. We're gonna address this. We're gonna address this in a second. I'm gonna leave it up there, but I just wanted to finish. I wanted to land the plane real quick on that. So put it like this way, Knicks fans. I think the Knicks magic number is 5 wins to clinch a playoff spot. Because if you look at it, the top 3 teams have already clinched. I believe Milwaukee has 50 wins, Boston has 49, and Philly has 48. And they've all clinched the playoff spot. So I'm thinking if the Knicks get to 47 wins, we are in a playoff seed. Knick fans, say it with me. Playoff seed. Not the play-in like ESPN projected us to be playing in at the 10th seed. I'm talking about playoffs. 5th seed, playoffs. Okay? Now, for the comment on the screen from my guy Kev.
No, that's
yes.
Barry.
Oh, that was Barry? That was Barry? I'm sorry. My apologies. For my guy Barry, this comment on the screen, yes, we was actually having a discussion about this earlier today. It's funny that you mentioned this, Barry, right? Because I remember when Zion came in the league the first year when he averaged 22.5 as a rookie, right? Because I believe the year prior to that, Luka Doncic averaged 21.8 points a game.
I remember that. Yep.
Okay.
He did.
But the main thing with Zion is this. Why would I trade Randall back to a team he used to play for Zion, who is injury prone, and honestly, he's overweight for his size. Mm-hmm. Simply put, because that's what happens when you're overweight for your size. It's
and his future is really uncertain. I mean, like this guy hasn't even played a full season, bro, since he's been in the NBA. Since he's come here, he hasn't played one full season, bro.
And it's
that's not good, bro.
It's just a testament to show that, you got to keep yourself as physically healthy as possible. So he should have been on some, all right, let me cut some of this weight down.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that affects your body structure. That excess, you know what I'm saying?
He's a high flyer too. So imagine all that weight coming down on his knees.
Yeah.
His back, that's not good, bro. Yeah. So I have a huge question. Like there's a big, huge question mark on his career, for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really don't see him, staying in the NBA too long. He's just another one of those players where I just don't see it. Kind of like Lonzo Ball. Look at Lonzo Ball.
Yeah.
It's a very sad situation for him, but that's just the reality. Sometimes you know, your body just can't handle what's being asked for of you. Like, and Lonzo's problem I think is more severe. I think with Zion, he just has to lose the weight, even if he has
Mm-hmm.
to lose some muscle, because muscle could also have, you could be heavy on with your muscle. You could, because he's a lot more top heavy, So I don't know. I don't know with Zion, man. I wish these guys the best, but
Why would I trade? Why would I trade a healthy Randall who's played every game this season, who's averaging pretty much 25, 10, and 4, away to the Pelicans for Zion, who I may not even get half a season out of?
that reliability right there is you can't trade that
I
reliability.
think people forget the meaning of reliability. All right, that means Julius is there night in and night out. All the games, all 82 games he's gonna play, barring a miraculous injury. But he's played all the games up to this point so far. And I will say the improvement of Julius Randle has been a wonderful thing this season, Knicks fans, because of the addition of Jalen Brunson. It's like now they just have to find out how to get into their groove quicker in
Yeah,
games for me. And then we could really be blowing teams out of the water. Like, it shouldn't be taking us so long to, get into a rhythm. The way you get
right.
into a rhythm is simply put, you start attacking a basket. You get some easy looks inside. It starts building up your confidence, and then boom, now you can expand it outside. If they start clogging them inside because you're driving so much, now you have somebody going to be open on the wing, or somebody's going to be open for an easy jumper.
I agree. Move the ball around. Move
Yeah,
the ball around. Attack the rack. Move the ball around. Have guys get some good shots. Don't just chuck up everything. And any little chance you get, you chucking up shots. It's not going to win you games, bro.
yeah,
It's not happening. And then poor perimeter defense, not happening either, man. So the Magics was killing us in fundamental basketball. That's all
yeah.
they were doing. That's all they were playing. They didn't have to do much to get that basket. You know, so hope unfortunately they have the luxury to clean it up, compared to the Nets, unfortunately. And
hmm
that's what kind of separates them from
Listen, man.
the Nets.
Shout out to Leon Rose, Worldwide West, the
Word.
upper management of the Knicks. The moves y'all made this year were wonderful as far as going after Jalen Brunson, even with the whole tampering thing.
That's a fact.
And then quietly acquiring Josh Hart. I love that nothing leaked out from upper management about this trade. I
Yeah.
love that it only leaked out once it happened. And you put a player like Hart around somebody like Brunson who can play off of Brunson pretty much anytime.
Right.
So, because they played together in college, they won 2 national championships, 2016, 2018. I mean, you
That's
already
a
know
fact.
how I
That's a
know.
fact.
So,
Villanova.
for a fact, I know that, and you've seen it, that Josh Hart has fitted nicely coming over. So,
Mm-hmm.
again, I'm going to say this because, and I'm going to land the plane after I say this. I don't want to sound like I'm taking up too much
Nah,
of
you
it.
good. You good. You good, bro. You good.
Um,
Last week it was all me, man. It was all me.
Yeah, so I
So,
wanted to pick up the slack a little
so
bit this week for
good,
everybody.
bro,
You know what
good.
I'm saying? But
It's
put
all
it
good.
like this way: when the end of the season comes, right, and the Knicks meet the win prediction that the three of us, me, Kev, and T Time have predicted, y'all. I want all the naysayers to give us our flowers. I want all the people who was talking smack and said that we were delusional to give us our flowers. I want all you haters to know I don't need flowers from you because I told y'all from the beginning of the season that the Knicks could win 45 games with Jalen Brunson at point guard. Everybody kept saying he didn't move the needle. He was short. He's undersized.
Word.
You know? So I don't understand why people was doubting him.
It's just people just wanted superstars. That's all they wanted. They wanted that guy who would give you 40, 50, 60, 70 points a night. Very unrealistic, but these are the kind of fans that these are the kind of players that these crazy fans want, bro.
I mean,
They basically want Superman on the court. They want the whole team to be Superman.
but now you see that we made the correct move by going after Brunson. Look at what he did in the West in the playoffs. He took the Mavericks to the West Finals. When people said that they couldn't beat Phoenix, they beat Phoenix coming back from behind in that series to beat Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Golden State overwhelmed Dallas, but Brunson still shined, and he was still, he put Steph Curry in the blender a couple of times in that series, and from then on, I knew like, man, Jalen Brunson is he can be a top tier point guard in this league, despite his size.
He can, and he's shown it. You know,
and this
like,
year again. This year again, he's showing you time and time again that even being undersized, he still finds a way to get buckets. He finds a way to get teammates involved. He's averaging 20 and 6.
Jimmy J1, what's good, bro? What's popping, bro?
Shout out my guy Jimmy J1 in the building. You know what it is, man. You know what it is. What's up, my guy?
Man.
What's up, my guy? Yeah. But yeah, I think the Knicks definitely gonna, if they continue to win and we finish ahead of Miami, we'll end in the 5th seed.
Right.
I'm hoping something happens with Cleveland these last however many games they got left, and we may end up taking 4th seed and have the home court for the series against them. But we got to win out. We still got to finish the job. We're not done yet. So we can't get ahead of ourselves. So I hope they could bring it home and they can get to 47 wins and we could see that X in the standings next to the Knicks name in the paper in the standings to say that they clinched the playoff berth, because when I see that, somebody gonna have to pay up. You know who I'm talking about, Brandon, right? Right, Brandon? Right, Brandon?
Yeah.
So get it ready, because I'm telling you right now, the Knicks is making the playoffs. The Nets,
I really don't
it
see
depends if y'all win a couple games, y'all finish in like 8 through, y'all finish like 7, 8, 9, one of them spots. But if y'all don't win the next couple games, y'all might not even make it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And with that said, you know, I'm not trying to be negative towards them, because I'm really not. I'm just looking at it as, just looking at the realistic picture. But it is possible, right? It is possible they could clinch a playoff spot.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
They just have to win. But winning is the hard part for this team. You know what I'm saying? Like they have to win, and it's they lose to Miami, bro. You could pretty much say curtains closed on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just is going to furthermore prove that you're not going to be able to beat the better teams. That's you're just not. Although I think with the matchup between Brooklyn and Miami, I really think it could go either way, to be honest with you, bro. Because they Nets beaten Miami before, so.
Well, the key is the Nets defense against Jimmy Butler. That's going to be the key.
Yeah, and after the performance I've seen when against the Knicks, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy he's playing at a high level.
Yeah.
At a high level. I'm not gonna toot his horn because it's fuck Jimmy Butler. He's trying being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Nah, screw.
Well,
I ain't giving him no flowers.
well, I wouldn't be so nervous. I mean,
That's Jimmy. That's Jimmy that said that.
Jimmy, I wouldn't be so nervous, Jimmy. I think we just need to win. We just need to win the next 3 games. Because if we win the next 3 games, that puts us at the win projection 45 and pretty much a lock to make a playoff spot. You know what I'm saying? I said pretty much. I didn't guarantee that. Okay, so don't quote me on saying guaranteed. Quote me on saying pretty much a lock, meaning we'll be in good shape to lock up a playoff spot. Okay, so. We just got to keep that in mind. If we win a couple of games, we're good. That's it. We just got to win.
Yeah.
At this point,
I feel pretty confident. I feel confident that after we secure the playoff spot, we could at least make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. At least make a push for that. Because again, they've shown that they could beat the best teams in the NBA. They've shown that.
Now you see
the Bucks. It's going to be tough. Don't get me wrong. That's going to be a tough game. But I think payback is going to come, and it's not going to be in the favor of the Bucks. Okay, I really do believe that because the Knicks are capable of beating the Bucks. They just do.
Well, it's a testament to stay, especially the last 2 games we played them. We actually stayed with them the whole game. They didn't just blow us out and run away with it. They went up a little bit, and we just got right back with them, even and all that. So it's not about if we could. We just have to play better than them. We have to outplay them. That's the key for the Knicks to beating Milwaukee. They just don't outplay them consistently.
Yeah.
If people get what I'm saying. What I mean is this, right? As a team, you want to play as consistent as you can every game. You can't have fall-offs like the Knicks have with some games where it's good, it gets better, and then it's just, we dip right back to the things that we've messed up with already earlier in the season. It's like we keep reverting back. That's going to hurt us.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to hurt us.
That's right.
Yeah, perimeter defense.
Yeah, that's going to be a big key.
Perimeter defense.
We cannot leave none of these guys open, bro.
I think, and I'm gonna give y'all Knicks fans. I'm gonna give y'all a take that Frass ain't give y'all before, and I'm gonna give you. I want y'all to think about this for a minute, right? In games, right, when you need to give Brunson a rest, right? I propose playing Quentin Grimes with Josh Hart. Why I say this? Those are the 2 best perimeter defenders. Those are 2 guys you want on the. Those are 2 guys you want on defense when those wings usually be open for 3 or if you're playing a zone. I'm sorry. Somebody
I agree.
calling me right now. I'm trying to cut this call.
I agree.
You know,
Now, against Giannis, would you have Mitch start or would you have Hartstein?
hmm. You see, honestly, the thing is, I wouldn't necessarily change if it's not broken. Bringing Mitch off the bench would be kind of awkward
Yeah,
for me, only because of the fact that I would want, I would want Mitch out there as the main presence in the paint because Hartenstein's he can be a rim defender, but he's not like a primary rim defender to me.
right.
Mitch is like a primary rim defender to me because that's
Yeah,
what he does. Like Hartenstein's a little bit of everything.
yeah. He's a mixed bag compared to Mitch. Mitch is just a rebounding and a block machine.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean the thing about Mitch is this, right? And this is another thing that I tell Knicks fans all the time. We need a big man that can stretch the floor and hit a jump shot, not necessarily a 3-pointer. Hit a mid-range jump shot. Why I say this? We're kind of predictable when it comes to certain plays. Like for instance, when the
right.
Knicks run pick and roll with Mitch and Brunson, a lot of the times they look for the pick and pop and the alley oop over the top. So teams are already overloading, waiting for them to try and throw the alley over the top, and there's the extra defender in the middle there.
Right.
So teams are kind of like certain things make us predictable. You have to key in on these delicate things moving forward. These are the little things that'll separate us from winning and losing games. And
That's true.
these are the intangibles of basketball, and you gotta have IQ to understand this. Like so. If the Knicks can say, all right, we really have to keep teams on their toes when we're on offense, is something that they need to make a priority moving forward. And I think Tommy T needs to break out of his shell a little bit more and start working up some different kind of plays and giving some different looks
Right.
because a lot of times we are predictable in certain situations, you know?
I agree.
So I land the plane there. I give y'all some of the good and bad that I feel with the Knicks. So y'all don't be like, oh, you just want to talk all good about the Knicks. No, it's not all good.
Nah, nah. And that's the thing about basketball. Is the good, is the bad. Um, both teams, like a lot of people will be like, "Oh, you a Knicks fan? You saying all times this," and then, "Oh, but you smashing the Nets, and you're supposed to be a Nets fan." Blah blah blah. It's like I'm calling the situation with the Nets. I'm just calling it how it is. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the roster to compete with the top teams. They just don't. That's not hating, and that's not. And a lot of net fans will agree with me. You know,
Hmm.
they just don't have it. When you have to know when your team has it and when your team doesn't have it. So if I say the Nets or the Knicks don't have it, they don't have it. You know, the Knicks haven't had it in a very long time. We all know this, bro. That's
Hmm.
Brunson was such a huge deal because when was the last time the Knicks really had a true point guard, pure point guard?
Man.
It's been a long time, right? So,
Hmm.
you know, so when we got that, that's when it was like, okay, yeah, yeah, now you're gonna see the tide shift because you actually have a floor general. The
Yep.
Nets, on the other hand, is lacking a floor general. That's a huge part of why the Nets are not in contention to beat these top teams is because you need a floor general,
Yep.
not just a big man. And they, Clax. Like I said, shout out to Clax. He's been doing his thing. He's been great for the most part, but you still need that dominant rim protector.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a dominant rim protector to make it, because you got to go against the Joker. You got to go against Giannis. You got to go against Embiid. You got to go against these guys that are just unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
So so when I look at the roster of the Nets, that's just what it is. Like it's not much I can say. As much as I would like for them to win, it's just not much I can say until they make the changes.
Yeah.
And that's what they're in the process of doing. This off season is going to be big. It's going to show where Marks is at, where his head is at in terms of how he wants this team to look like. You know what I'm saying? With the Knicks, they're not in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They still have some flaws, but they're not in the same situation. It's like there's a lot of question marks surrounding RJ Barrett, because he's up and down,
But yet he's been coming on as of late in the last few games, getting in some 20-point games, and
That's right.
you
That's right.
know, so
So with the Knicks, they're just in a better spot. This is why they're sitting in the situation that they're sitting in now, even though those couple losses were big blows, because you expect to win against Miami, you expect to win against especially Orlando, Orlando especially.
no,
Even
I
though
don't. I don't always expect to win against Miami. They're a tough out, man. They
yeah,
can be a
they're
tough out
tough,
a lot of the time.
they're tough. Like when I say expecting, meaning the Knicks could beat them. There's not like a second guessing, like,
Mm-hmm.
are we gonna lose or are we gonna win? Like, no, we could go in and we could beat them. It's gonna be
Yeah.
tough. It's because they're a tough team. You got to understand. Like even Orlando, they're a tough team, but when you on pay, when you look at the team layout of the Knicks and you look at Orlando, you're like, we're a better team. The Knicks are a better team. Like, what do you mean? But you got to keep in mind,
That's what.
that any team could sneak up on you because you got those young hungry wolves that want to play spoiler, and that's what they're gonna do. It's just look at the Rockets the other night when they were facing um 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 Memphis. They only won by 5 points. They only won by 5 points. Rockets stuck with them, and they were bro. And Memphis is supposed to be a way better team. So, any team could bring it to you, bro. But it's just, hopefully, moving on forward. Hold on, let's put this let's put this comment up there.
Yeah, that was the one.
I'm also not feeling just sticking to the 9-man rotation, but I'm also just not a fan of Tommy T.
Well, I get it. I know that's probably Jimmy J as well, because
I think that's Jimmy J.
I could tell just by the
Jimmy J.
comment. I know it's Jimmy J.
That's
Honestly, Jimmy J, I voiced my opinion on Tommy T already. You know how I feel. I feel the same way you feel. I'm still on the fire Tommy T train, but I have given him his flowers for this season, for the turnaround, for a lot of adjustments that's been made so far this year. There's still a lot of adjustments to make, but I think Tommy T has to break out of his stubbornness and he's got to come out of his shell, and that's the only way he's going to be able to make these further adjustments moving forward in order to be able to push us to the next level. So I do agree with you. 9-man rotation is going to kill us, especially in the playoffs, because we're going to have 10, 11, and 12 guys. I'm saying that's going to be able to play, because teams are going to be going into their benches in the playoffs.
Oh yeah.
I'm confident when we go to our bench as a Knicks fan. All right, I'm confident that my bench players can get the job done. It's just how Tommy T utilizes them in the switch in the lineups after the starting lineup comes in and plays their first share of minutes. Those be the keys to the game. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, Tommy T keeps us reverting back to the same mistakes that we done already made, and that's the problem. We can't keep doing that, and that trickles down as well. Go ahead, Marlon.
That's a fact. And that's why I haven't released the pressure off his neck yet. Because I said it. You've heard me say like I won't say he's in the clear unless you see how he finished out this season. If he finishes out strong, meaning that the team gave it all they got and still took the L, cool. But when there's mistakes that's happening where it's so obvious and it could be corrected, like simple mistakes, because what killed the Knicks last season, right, was simple mistakes, bro. Simple.
Definitely, I agree. It's just,
it was very simple. So if he reverts back to that kind of mentality where he's just going to be stubborn and not try to switch anything up, yeah, I'm going to say fire him in the off season, because it's clear that the Knicks are going to need a new voice moving forward with this new group.
Totally agree. I think
but
we need a coach who can play with the times and who had a coach that can adjust with the times of today's league and get our guys in a position to win more games based on different playbook. I think the playbook needs to be changed a lot for the Knicks.
And what's crazy about it, they already have the man for that job.
Yeah.
It's just
he sits right on the bench next to Tommy T. His name is Johnny Bryant.
It's exactly right. So
Johnny Bryant, give him the head coaching position. Worldwide West, Leon Rose, somebody.
Yeah, if Tibbs failed, Bryant could pick up that slack, and he'll definitely turn that team into man, that team will be monstrous. But that's all I have for tonight. You know what I'm saying? What about you, Fraz? You good? Anything else?
I just want to address one thing before we sign off tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Now, I do remember a certain Nets fan, right? By the name of Nick Fan Breezy.
See, he's not a Nets fan. He's
right. This guy right here, right? He had the nerve to say something about the conglomerate and the fact that this is a place over here where Knicks fans and Net fans can coexist without the pressures of feeding into a rivalry or feeding into any other narrative, where you can just be a fan of your team and not be judged by a fan of another team.
Right.
Okay. He said, and I quote, for the record, he said, "What do you Knicks and Net fans be doing over there? Sitting by the fire singing Kumbaya?" But it's funny that you mentioned Kumbaya, Breezy. You know why? Because lately you've been in a very safe net space, haven't you? What is this? I hear you're in Nets therapy. You're hosting Nets therapy sessions. What is this? Why are you hosting therapy sessions now? Come and heal with us. Oh wait, so now it's you and your Nets fans who are singing "Kumbaya" by the fire, right?
Little that they know. Little that his Nets fans know that Nick Fan Breezy is looking. He goes to bed every night, right? He goes to bed every night and he lays a Nick hat on his chest. He puts the Nick hat on his chest. Mind you, this hat is over 9 years old. Over 9 years old, easy. You could just tell by looking at it. And he lays on the bed and he just holds his hat. He's like, how can I tell the world? How can I tell the world that I love the Knicks still? Without catching the wrath of the Knicks fans. But every night you can see it in his face. So if you're in big fan Nick Fan Breezy circle, big Nick Fan Breezy circle, and you just look at his face, and all you have to do is look at his face, and you look at it long enough, and you will see a Knicks hat. His face will turn into a Knicks hat because that's who he is on the inside. He's a Knicks fan. You know, he is. You know, so get him some Nick fan therapy.
But wait, this is the same guy who also said that the current Nets team is capable of winning an NBA championship, is it not? But you have the nerve to try and nitpick at the conglomerate because of the type of environment that we promote here, Breezy?
Jimmy said I pays Knicks fan Breezy no attention. He probably has.
No. But now all of a sudden, you're in hiding now, eh, Breezy? You remember when a lot of y'all Nets fans used to talk about this Knicks safe space, right? Called Mecca versus Barclays, right? Right? I remember like it was yesterday, and I'm gonna end off on this when I'm done. We got clowned because it was supposedly a Knicks fan safe space, right? Do you remember that, Marlon? You remember that period of time?
I remember that.
Now here it is. This is about 2 years now because it's 2 NBA seasons, right? 2 NBA seasons.
Right.
Okay, so this is about 2 years now. And now it's you, in fact, Breezy, who's running to Nets safe spaces, hosting therapy sessions for your fellow Knicks fans. Your fellow Nets fans. How ironic it is, huh, Breezy? How ironic that y'all went from Katie and Kyrie to this. Might not even make the playoffs now, Breezy. So, Breezy, I'm going to ask you again, and I'm going to quote you on one of your famous lines that, we like to say around here, around these parts. What happened? What happened, Breezy? Why you ain't post the standings yet? Post them standings. Oh, I know you don't want to. And I'm going to land the plane with that.
There's no safe space for him. Wherever he goes, Knicks fans are.
Post the standings. That's all I want to see. I ain't see him post the standings yet.
He's not going to post. He's not going to post the standings because he's going to bow his head.
He's hurting right now inside. He's hurting inside right now. We know.
He's looking at his Knicks fan. He's probably looking at his Knicks fan hat right now. He's looking at his Knicks hat right now. Like, damn. I want to tell the world. I want to tell the world. But how do I? Well, all I have to say is, console your Knick fan.
Check on Big Fan Breezy, man. He's not okay. He's not okay. All right. Check on him. He's not okay. All right. He's definitely not okay. And neither are a lot of the Nets fans. Check on them. They're not okay.
A lot of them aren't.
Now's not a time to be worried about the Knicks Nets fans. Not named Michael Allen Skeen. Let me add that on. All right.
There's a few. There's a few that there's. With that being said, there's a few Nets fans that are they know where the Nets are at.
And they know also that we're not referring to them when we talk about Nets fans as well, because it's not for them. So I always like to state that because it's a respect thing,
That's a fact.
Out of respect for those real fans. It ain't for y'all, but it's for. That's why I say this is for you, Breezy.
This is for.
Because at the end of the day, it's time to wake up and smell the Colombian coffee. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. What happened? Oh man! And on that note, I'd like to thank each and every one of you who ended up watching this live, and who attended this live tonight. Shout out my guy Jimmy J1. Shout out Barry Garrix. Shout out Kev Rodriguez, my guy. And I want to shout out everybody in the Knicks and Ish Conglomerate family. Y'all know who y'all are. I don't really got to say too many names. Yeah, I mean, because y'all know I'm going to come on here and big y'all up each and every time. So with that being said, I will name a few names. Shout out T-Tom, BJ. Kev, Rampage, Ray, JJ Jackson. Shout everybody out, man. Shout out Darlene. One loyal Knicks fan named Darlene. Got to shout her out all the time. She always be on the Knicks Ish Live. Shout out Darlene. I
got to shout to all the real Nets fans out there, whether Michael Allen Skeen, everybody, all the real.
Definitely big y'all up, man.
Not the ones who be capping and capping and capping and capping. The real ones. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's going through the pain and the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, it's your boy Fraz Taz, aka the Parlay Lord.
Signing off. So tonight, and also always on the side of me.
Always. The
Lord of Mayhem, Marlon Mayhem.
Appreciate you. That's a fact. So, that being said, we out.
See y'all in the next one. See y'all next Friday.
Peace.
Let's go. Black Soprano family, huh? The mob, nigga. We the biggest in this shit. Biggest. Me, Rick, Heen, Camino. We been setting the tone. My nigga Bates. Love Boat. Hartford, Connecticut. Eastside Buffalo in this bitch. You know, all my niggas. Yeah, the Butch, nigga. Ain't nothing I have regular, brick and a half measurer. I turned the hefty garbage bag to a cash register. And with a little luck, I put them digits up grinding. I'm putting pictures up shining, rocking emerald cut diamonds. TD Jakes in the kitchen, GTA when I'm whipping. Crash that, jump in the new one, they easy day for a nigga. Y'all gossip like Ricky Lake, y'all wishing hate on a nigga. Don't fit in lanes with these rappers, I've been done sprayed on a nigga. When you get in the streets, don't lay on pillows and speak. Loyalty calls, don't expect it from niggas who cheap. And little do he know I'm a wolf to a little sheep. Heavy bars and got a style so hard that it chisel teeth. We both in love with white girls, how about that? It's ironic. I put him on digi scales, he got a tat on Madonna. No emblems on that big body Benz, knew that I got her. So my old ass next door neighbor think that's a Honda. It's two type of leaders, you could be Bush or Bill, and only see half the picture like Bushwick Bill. I'm Mike jack, smooth operation, off krills. Now a nigga making that little shit
I
off
hear you
reels.
niggas speaking blasphemous. Shit spread like a pathogen. The whole time your career.